Officers attempt to locate the list of visitors from the day Gabrielle gave birth at the same hospital.
So I'll be honest with you. There was a woman, the victim, here when she had her children on the 28th. The woman who visited her is the one who did the children. We're just trying to we're just trying to figure out who she
So
was.
was it a family member that you
We believe she gave the victim a fake name because you guys don't have Kathy Daniels or Kathleen Daniels, her description in your database, but somehow she got back here. So
is they're not able to give you any information without going through our research. So we have to get you connected with them.
Okay.
Yeah, in order to give any information. And at that point in time, I think Rosemary can help out.
While they couldn't obtain the visitor list from the hospital staff, the officers are about to learn something so extraordinary, it will completely flip the case over on its head. While Gabrielle fights to survive, police gain access to her phone, but somehow the social media profiles of Kathleen Daniels are nowhere to be found. With another clue that YouTube and outside of the surveillance footage from a week ago, police have no choice but to go to the media and release the image from Gabrielle, along with an Amber Alert for the twins.
Oh, that's the alert. 263. Yeah, 263 twin black male, last seen with a black
it's on the phones.
both phones. You all get the alerts too.
Miraculously, tips pour in immediately from local residents. According to the police report, a tip from the community provides that the infants were being held inside a home in Rincon, a city nearby. The reason officers couldn't find a single record of the mysterious Kathleen Daniels is because she doesn't really exist. This wasn't a simple case of a missing record or a misspelled name. This was a carefully crafted deception, an alias designed by the suspect to shield her true identity from her crime. Behind the mask of this fabricated identity was a woman named Angela Montgomery. Pieces of this harrowing puzzle were beginning to fall into place, and this revelation would only lead to darker secrets being uncovered. A SWAT team rapidly heads to Angela's home. At her residence, officers found Angela's 2-year-old son, her fiancé Dale, her mother, and 3 sisters, and the greatest discovery of all, the missing baby boys. Officers carry the infants from the house to a nearby police car and finally share an update that everyone had been desperately waiting for.
Oh, hey, darling.
Time of her arrest, Angela was found naked and hiding in a closet. Outside, one of the detectives interviews Angela's mother, and what she has to share is nothing short of a nightmare in the making.
It's here. Babies. I thought they were hers. Huh? I thought they were hers. Babies lately? Yeah. Okay. Her kids, you know. Today, supposedly, she had them. This is okay.
Shaniqua shared in a later interview that after she heard the Amber Alert, Angela took everyone's cell phones away and confessed to the kidnapping, saying, "I have something to tell you. I did something bad, and I know you and Dale are going to hate me for this." Shaniqua immediately told Angela, and Dale began packing the baby's things.
She had a baby today.
Great news. Now your account you get free daily.
So basically, she was a fat bitch that she wanted twins and befriended another lady who already had twins, lied to her parents, and oh yeah, I'm about to give birth. And then shot and killed this lady, took the kids.
That's what she said. When last time you saw her other than today? Yesterday. Where was she at? In my house. And she looked pregnant? She's been pregnant. She's been pregnant. Supposedly she was supposed to be being induced today. Okay.
Detectives began searching Angela's home. They quickly located 3 firearms. Additionally, some baby formula was found in the kitchen cabinets. The house appeared to be fully equipped for newborn babies. Police also found a mysterious note along with a stunning piece of information, revealing a horrifying and twisted motive that would shift the entire investigation.
So, are you just tell her? So, when she came home with the babies? Oh, what did she say when you when you held them? Or what did she say? She said she had them. Who was with her? Nobody. At the time, she had my car. She had borrowed my car.
When Shaniqua and Angela met at the hospital, Shaniqua observed one of the babies on Angela's dashboard and the other on the passenger seat. Oddly, both the babies were unclothed, but she didn't question her daughter about it. After completing the formalities at the police station, Angela is brought in for interrogation. Soon enough, Angela, aka Kathleen, confirms what Jasmine told the officers about the Facebook group. However, she divulges some major details which completely contradict what the police have heard from Jasmine and Gabrielle.
There was another person there today. Okay. And you can look up my birth records. I'm adopted. Uh-huh. And I have a sister. Okay. And we're twins. Uh-huh. We are not identical. We are fraternal technically. She was another person there today and used it against me. It's the truth. My sister showed up exactly 3.5 months ago. She's from New York. She lives in Jersey. I have her address.
As it happens, police never needed to verify any of the details concerning this other twin sister's involvement. According to the police report, in an interview, Angela's mother confirmed Angela was adopted when she was 2 weeks old. She reveals that Angela doesn't have a twin. Moreover, her family had no idea she'd not been pregnant for several months. Angela proceeds to ramble on about her fictitious twin sister Destiny, desperate to convince the detectives of her innocence. But they already know the truth about what she'd done, and her attempts to convince them otherwise are in vain. The detectives confront Angela, demanding the truth about what really happened that morning.
To tell my fiance that I'm not, like, that I miscarried. And today was supposed to be your induction date. Induced labor. Technically. Mm-hmm. I never actually planned an induction date. Uh-huh. It was supposed to be Saturday, and Saturday I was going to tell Dale, and something happened with his dad that was freaking crazy. So
that's right. Angela lost her twins to a miscarriage prior to meeting Gabrielle. After befriending her under the guise of also being pregnant, she posed as a helpful friend. During this time, she learned where the cameras in the nursery were located in her house, and then kidnapped Gabrielle's children. From there, she attempted to fool her family into believing these were hers, to then raise them as her own. Damn. This was eerily close to what Gabrielle's uncle Stefan had theorized. Damn. When they were searching Angela's house, they discovered the astonishing evidence of the miscarriage, along with no.
twins or something? Did you lose twins? Yeah, well, that you get. You might want to take.
With enough to charge Angela and the children secure, officers share the happy news with Jasmine and her aunt.
Let her know first. And she's in the back.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
On November 7th, 2023, Angela Kathleen Montgomery was found guilty with a mental health consideration of criminal attempt to commit murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and aggravated assault. She's cooked. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison with a lifetime of probation. Gabrielle Rogers survived her injuries and was reunited with her children. She is on the road to a full recovery. Oh, she didn't die. I thought in the beginning, in prison with a lifetime of probation. Gabrielle Rogers survived her injuries and was reunited with her children. She is on the road to a full recovery. That's beautiful.
Well,
Ooh, so I get it. She had mental issues and she was adopted. She had miscarriage. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. Kill her husband, realize wife is still
In the
breathing.
early morning hours of Valentine's Day 2019, a woman named Olivia Jones walked the aisles of a local supermarket known as HEB Plus in preparation for dinner with her husband, Chris. As she gathered the ingredients, she observed a bouquet of pink and red roses, colors that symbolize tenderness and passion. As Olivia exited the store with the roses in her cart, she was unaware that in less than 40 minutes, she would be dead. A horrible consequence of so-called toxic love. The police would find her on her bedroom floor in a quiet neighborhood in Beaumont, Texas. 11 minutes earlier, her loving husband, Chris, dialed 911.
Uh-oh.
What's going on? Well, man, Harry, why do you start here? Please, somebody shot in the head. Please. Tell me where is he shot? In the head. Okay, where in the head? I want you to try to control the bleeding.
Hey, dispatch be so funny. At every job, if it has a dispatch, bro, they all just be talking like they don't care. It's just dispatch be cracking me up.
On their way to Chris Boulevard.
Yeah, they don't have
Arrived. Officer Otis Butler was met by a familiar face, 40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones, who was visibly distressed.
All
Officer
right.
Butler was close friends with Chris and his wife Olivia. His body cam was rolling while Chris urged the officers to hurry into the house.
Bring me down. Bring me to. Please.
Hold on. First off, the way he said that, I would have been cautious off rip.
To the house.
Bring me down. Bring me to. Please, come this way. This way. This way. Please.
As alluded to earlier, the officers made their way to the bedroom and found Olivia lying on the floor.
Sir. Okay. It has been.
Olivia was found face down with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. Astonishingly, she was still breathing. When the officers rolled her over, they discovered that the bullet had pierced through her right eye. She was found and was covered in blood, with spatter all over the walls. The paramedics arrived, and while they tended to Olivia, the police secured the area. Officer Butler had Chris walk him through the.
See, that's the thing right there, man. From the looks of it, looks like a nice home, got trucks, cars. He got a lot, and this is just me, just making an assumption. I could be totally wrong. It got to be out of jealousy, just from that picture. Oh,
It has been.
Found face down with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. Astonishingly, she was still breathing. When the officers rolled.
she's beautiful. She's a beautiful young lady. It, I mean, it could obviously, again, this is me judging. It could be anything, but I feel like jealousy. Jealousy.
Over, they discovered that the bullet had pierced through her right eye. She was found was covered in blood, with spatter all over the walls. The paramedics arrived, and while they tended to Olivia, the police secured the area. Officer Butler had Chris walk him through the events leading up to the shooting.
What happened? We had a disagreement, and I say, baby, if you're not working with me, you're working with me. I say, we've been doing this. My 19-year-old daughter was 8. My 11-year-old was 1. I said, Olivia, we can't be together. We can't be together. Okay. We got several reasons. And I say, I just want a divorce. And her reaction was, you got the gun? I said, give me the gun. She's like, I don't remember which hand. I'm like, give me that gun. What are you doing? Stop trying to scare me. I took it.
I can turn your wildest ideas into a song. Just describe it in a few words.
He just
Style.
confessed to a murder. He just confessed it to a murder. You basically just said Your wife got the gun and it scared you. You're like, babe, what did you give me the gun? You so at this point you got the gun and then you gonna say, "Pow!" You just committed to murder.
Trying to stop. I took it. You grabbed it and went off. DJ, I grabbed it. The gun went off.
Chris's story immediately set off red flags. How could such a large man be overpowered by his significantly smaller wife? Chris
Right.
dropped his anguish, but there were no tears as he asked Officer Butler if he could go check on him.
Mr. Butler, I gotta go. No, what's going on? Yeah, she is. He is got him left there. She Mr. Butler. Please don't tell me she. When I saw her, she was talking. She wasn't talking. She breathing. She breathing. Ooh, like, don't go anywhere, sir. Sir, I need you to stay back here with me, okay? Calm down. Calm down.
Learning that Olivia was still Chris's reaction seemed strangely devoid of relief or happiness. Another red flag for Officer Butler. Back inside the home, Olivia's wounds proved to be fatal. Just after 9 p.m., she was pronounced dead. Officers searched the rest of the home and noticed that in addition to the surveillance cameras installed on the exterior of the house, there were 2 more cameras mounted in the living room, monitoring the interior of the house as well. They also discovered the gun that Olivia was shot with, a 9mm pistol covered in blood. However, they found it strange that the gun was in a different room from where the shooting took place. If Olivia was holding the gun when it went off, how did it end up in a different room? Was that Chris must have moved it. Following this discovery, the officers decided that the best course of action was to detain Chris until they had a better understanding of what really happened. As Chris was getting handcuffed, his 19-year-old daughter, Ariel, arrived at the house. She had already been contacted by Chris, who told her what had happened. She was clearly devastated. While the officers tried to console Ariel, Chris was escorted to the back of a police cruiser. Lead Detective Maggie Freeman, Sergeant Yvette Barrero of the forensics unit, arrived at the residence and were immediately caught up to speed.
According to him, she grabs the elevator. He claims he reached for the gun. He reached for it. And it
At that moment, Olivia's sister arrived at the scene, and Ariel once again broke out into hysterics. All of the evidence was collected and sent to the crime lab. Chris was brought down to the station where they took photos of his hands still covered in blood.
Detectives are going to be the ones that actually interrogate. So
When the detectives finally arrived at the station, they started Chris's interview by asking him what caused the argument. He said that he felt as if Olivia wasn't pulling her weight in the relationship.
I'm very particular. If you heard that, that's true. I am very particular. I work really hard. And I don't make excuses for myself. And I don't accept excuses for anybody else.
After telling her that he wanted a divorce, she went to the bedroom and grabbed the gun.
what did you say?
You serious? Really? This is not going to solve anything.
Okay.
You know, this is not, you do not want to do that. Look at 3 things young about. Before you make a mistake and hurt yourself. She was crying. She was crying.
Chris handed over his cell phone, which had access to the home security camera footage.
Access just that camera. You touch that. And that's just that camera. Okay. You don't you understand so far. Let's go back again. Devices. Yes, sir. And everything is labeled carport, yard, front door, garage door, my room, inside garage, living room, kitchen.
Police examined this footage.
Yo, what up? Barbara, how you doing?
8:41 p.m. Can be seen going about her morning routine.
We just watching crime videos.
Cuts out. 3 minutes later, at 8:44 a.m., the video is back up. Chris is captured frantically pacing around the house while on the phone with no. 11 minutes later, at 8:55 p.m., responding officers can be seen entering the residence. That means that Olivia must have been shot during this 3-minute gap in the footage. In the interrogation room, Chris was asked why this footage was missing. He claimed that he had no idea.
Look, this video here, okay?
People do not think stuff through.
It should be. Everybody in that house to be on it. I see the internet. We go through days and it's going to get pretty much done everything. So we said about that.
But if it goes through days,
Whatever you want, and it's never going to be consistent.
why the moment before she shot?
I'm desperately to find some video on here that corroborates what you're telling us, but almost all the videos start right after this event happened.
Chris had a bunch of excuses. We're taking Chris.
Yeah, thank God for
great
footage.
assault. It seemed more likely that Chris, the only one with access to the footage, had tampered with it. Since they did not have the video, had Chris reenact the moment he tried to disarm Olivia.
Was it? And I go,
No, you're good. You're fine. Like the chair.
she should be shot.
Is that fake? Anybody think that's fake?
Did you feel me twist your? Did you feel me twist that here? Did you feel me twist your? Twisted.
With each question asked, it seems as if Chris was improvising the answer, actively trying to make the puzzle pieces fit together rather than telling the truth. The detectives ended their initial interview feeling more suspicious of Chris than ever. They then moved on to starting with his sister Angela.
Olivia Jones is your sister, right? We've been talking a lot lately. We talk every day. I drop her baby to her at the tax office. She's always been timid about everything. But she was the type that whatever went on in their home, she would keep it there.
Yeah. Kind of a private
person.
Yeah.
She loved her baby so much. That she had to live for them, she would never.
Angela went on to reveal the extent of Chris's control over Olivia.
She can't talk on the phone after a certain time.
Damn.
He controlled the finances. He never wanted to be in the presence of her family. Family reunions, anything. He never came. But
Damn.
he would step off, and when he would fall, and all you could hear was him screaming and yelling at the phone.
Damn.
Like his character is to be aggressive. I just don't get it. Because all she wanted, my sister was a Mary type. All she wanted was to be loved. Yeah. She loved love. Like she.
Hitting hard is not the same thing as being tight.
Damn.
Blood flow handles mechanics, but arousal, that starts in the brain.
Loved her babies. She wanted to live for her babies.
To make matters worse, Chris's ex-wife Letitia, who he initially met back in 1999,
Tony, what's up, brother?
Victor Jones in 1999. He strangled me, choked me out, drugged me through the house. My skin was missing off my back. One time, he hand, he had hand.
Oh, so he's just aggressive ass nigga.
Clean. He's told me that he would kill me. I was still believing. Told me how he would do it. The reason I never said, it for him. I was extremely in fear of my life. Because I knew and I felt in my heart he would kill me.
Most damning of all were the allegations made by Olivia's daughter Arielle during the interview. She explained what it was like living at the house with her mom and Chris.
They were arguing, and I heard her say she couldn't breathe. I would see bruises on her. It broke her down to the point where she believed what he said. You won't be nothing without me, stuff like that. Right. Everybody knows my mama. Everybody knows my mama. Everybody knows that we were her world.
Each person interviewed, the allegations against Chris were stacking higher and higher. They doubled back with him, urging him to tell the truth about what actually happened to the missing footage.
Non-self fitness.
I look guilty. I believe that those victims, I look guilty.
Not if you say right now, what you just said, well, I freaked out. I panicked. I did some stuff I shouldn't have done. Is that one of them?
Yes.
How many did you delete?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, you just admitted to it again.
I'm being blamed for something I didn't do something. It's really bad.
While the confession was a much needed win for detectives, there was still no trace of those
Yeah,
crucial
he must have a
minutes of
history
murder.
of abuse.
They spent the days combing through all available footage from the house to see for themselves what daily life was like for the Jones family. In these recordings, the true nature of Chris and Olivia's relationship was on full display.
Okay, be like that, Vince. I'm not playing with you. Blaze, you want to do something you not know? Then get in here. You got all the goddamn ass. You don't do a goddamn thing around this. Right. I did that plane. I didn't want to. I had they fell on the floor, so I didn't want to reuse them. What are you doing? Olivia, this is going on. No. Wow. Now, lady.
Chris would take any chance that he could to
Damn.
constantly putting her worth into question, even humiliating her in front of her own daughter.
You didn't have a job. You collect unemployment. We just had most men in this world want a woman that got what? What are you doing if I wouldn't have got her thing? You would have banned him? That would be so much easier for me if you started thinking. You dumb.
This footage shed light on Chris's true colors.
That's fucked up.
Allegations of abuse from Olivia's family. Detectives also looked into Chris's criminal records and discovered that he had a history of violent charges, including multiple assaults in 1996, domestic assault in 1998, for a brief period. Even though they were still waiting for ongoing forensic analysis results, authorities believed that they had enough evidence to place charges against Chris.
This morning, a Beaumont man is now facing murder charges in a Valentine's Day shooting of his wife. Police say this man, Christopher Ray Jones, who worked as a correctional counselor at the Beaumont Federal Prison, killed his wife, Olivia.
Chris was charged with first-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in April of 2020. Within 24 hours after being charged, he was released on a $150,000 bond and was put under arrest with a GPS monitor.
A man charged with murdering his wife is back at their home.
40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones was arrested and charged with shooting his wife in the face on Valentine's Day. His bond was set at $150,000. He paid and is now out.
Many taking to social media to voice their concerns, stating things like, "Can't believe he's out on a $150,000 bond. That's crazy. What's wrong with our system?" And "Can't believe they would make his bond so low that he got out. He should not be walking the streets."
While out of bail, Christopher was allowed to continue operating the Jones family business, a food truck called One Plate. It allowed Chris to work while out on bail since the food truck is directly beside his home. However, this decision was controversial amongst Olivia's family and the community. They knew
I wonder
Chris
if he
was
was
the only
getting
person with
customers.
Olivia at the time of her death. All seemed to believe that he had killed her.
This food truck on Concord Road in Beaumont is on social media. It's not generating rave reviews from many, but condemnation from a grieving family.
I don't see how would anyone want to support someone who murdered their wife on Valentine's Day, which is a day that we are supposed to celebrate love. And the day that she was going to celebrate that with him, he decides to take her life.
Chris's image was tainted even further when results from the crime lab Patterns at the crime scene indicated that the gunshot wound could not have happened in the way that Chris described it. Additionally, investigators found no gunshot residue on Olivia's hands, indicating that there was no way she was holding the gun when it went off. There was, however, gunshot residue on Chris's hands and clothing. Despite all of the evidence pointing towards Chris, he pled not guilty to his charges. But before his trial would take place, Olivia's family held a gathering to honor her memory. This is what actually
Why show us? What the fuck show us?
It's Valentine's Day.
What up, everybody? Shout out to everybody better right now.
Means domestic violence, and red was one of her favorite colors.
1 year ago today, Joshua Simmons lost his sister.
Valentine's Day was one of her favorite holidays.
I would give almost anything to have her back right now.
What has this year been like for you and your family?
One word it would be frustrated.
Frustrated with the fact that Jones isn't behind bars. Now the family wants to raise awareness for domestic violence, but more than anything, they want justice for Olivia.
We want him to spend the rest of his life in prison, while my sister spent the rest of her life in the grave.
having an opportunity to celebrate Olivia's life, her loved ones would once again have to face her death during Chris's upcoming trial. The courtroom was packed with from both sides. It had been over 3 years since Olivia's death, and despite the clear tension between the two families, they all wanted the same thing.
She's out for 3 years?
Jimmy Ham described Chris as an abusive partner with a violent past, and it was only a matter of time before something like this happened.
Fact.
Chris's defense attorney argued that Chris only grabbed the gun because Olivia was recklessly handling the weapon in a dangerous predicament. Forensic pathologist Celestina Rossi provided critical bloodstain analysis and confirmed that Olivia did not have any gunshot residue on her, contradicting the defense's claims that her death was merely an accident. The testimonies and evidence combined ultimately overpowered the
Well, he got
defense.
a great.
Christopher Ray Jones was found guilty for the murder of his wife, Olivia Jones.
Yes.
1,118 days. That's how long Olivia Jones's family says they've waited for this moment. The moment when Olivia's husband, Christopher Jones, was found guilty of murder. Olivia died at the hands of her husband on Valentine's Day 2019, and instead of spending a lifetime behind bars,
Agree with the state to a 30-year sentence because of the potential risk of, an even higher sentence.
In exchange, Christopher waived his right to appeal the conviction. After the judge handed down this sentence, Olivia and Christopher's 2 daughters took the stand. Looking directly at their father, they described the impact of Olivia's death. The youngest daughter, who was only 11 when her mother died, said, quote, "I'll forgive you one day, but right now I can't." Throughout the trial, the prosecution described a history of abuse that finally blew up. Defense attorney Ryan Getz argued a different version of events.
I think that we will limit what happened in that room. Ultimately, my impression from the jurors is that they just didn't believe Chris's version of events, and that really only left the one alternative.
This was an emotional day for Olivia's family. As they were leaving the courtroom, they were encouraging each other, saying, "Today was all about Olivia, and she won."
Christopher Jones is currently serving his sentence in the John M. Wayne Unit, Texas.
Dang. It's crazy.